Hi, I'm Tom Peterson. I just brought this painting out of retirement. It's been in the closet probably for about 15 to 18 years, and I just got it back from being at a show along with some other paintings. And I thought to myself, and so did my wife, why are we just putting these things in the closet? Why don't we get them out and either show them or sell them or whatever? So I got this out, and I'm bringing this to you now to show you this painting that was done in 1993. And this is a 1956 Lincoln Capri, and was a really beautiful car back in its day. I shot this car at a classic car show underneath one of these great big circus tents, right? So that's why you're seeing all these stripes and everything in here. Now this is an airbrushed acrylic painting. This is not a photograph. A lot of people get that mixed up. But in so doing, in painting this, you can see that there's a tent reflected back up here on the top of the trunk. But an interesting thing happened in here where the curvature of the trunk came down and then came out again. It looked like a fish. It looked like a tropical fish. So that was the premise of this whole painting. Now I have to make something that makes this look like this has something to do with a nautical theme. Lincoln really doesn't have anything to do with a nautical theme. So I just thought, well, what am I going to do? So as I was working on this painting, the ideas would be coming and going, right? But I just wanted to show you something. This is a Lincoln, of course, and like I said, it's 56 Lincoln. The word Lincoln is written into the rear grille of this car in chrome, but right here there's a little bit of a light, and this light reflected up on the word Lincoln. So if you were coming down the highway at night and you saw this car, there would be no doubt in your mind that this was a Lincoln. It probably saw on the other side said Capri, but this is the styling that they had in 1956. 1957, they started to get the fins up a little bit higher, and this was the last year of this nice rounded tail light. It has a little bit of a peak on the body on the metal here, but the rounded tail light, and if you look real closely, you could see inside here that you would see the actual, not the filament, but the red light that was a flat light that the filament was behind, and that's what caused it to get bright. And then this whole tail light would just bust open with red. It was a beautiful car. Now you're wondering, why is this bumper so long, right? All this chrome. Well, the reason for that is there was an insert put in here between the bumper and between the body, and this is all chrome plated, and that housed what was called the Continental kit. Now back in the day, back in the 20s, and probably even earlier than that, 30s and through, well, kind of into the late 30s. I don't remember anything in the 40s at all. They used to put their spare tire either in the fenders of the car or on the back of the car. So this was on the back of the car. So this 56 was probably one of the last times, 57, maybe 58, was probably one of the last times that any automotive company would put the Continental kit back on. They could have gone into 60 and 61, but chances are they didn't. I know I've seen them on 57s and 58s, but past that I haven't seen it. So this was the era of the Continental kit. Now the Continental kit had this chrome strip that went around the spare tire. On the outside it was a piece of metal, and it was painted usually the same color as the car. And then it would have, showing off for all the public to see, either the wheel or the hubcap that was on the car. Just gorgeous. So you can see all the reflections that in here. And speaking of reflections, because of this fish, which kind of looks kind of like an angelfish, I had to start working something there. And Lincoln crossing Lincoln water, I just couldn't figure it out. Then I thought, oh, Lincoln crossing the Delaware. Oh, then I thought, nah, that was Washington crossing the Delaware. Then I said, hey, what's wrong with that? Lincoln crossing the Delaware. It's a play on words, right? So that's where my thoughts went. This is Lincoln crossing the Delaware. Now, if you look down in here, you will see rocks and stones and even starfish with water zooming past them, just flowing past them all the way through the bottom of this thing. And then my signature tiles, which I always painted back in those days, to sort of give it this surrealistic look, are coming down through here. Some of them are coming right across the stones and the rocks, and you can actually see them right across through here. You know, it's just some mark that I have, I guess. And then one time I was at a show and I asked this lady, I said, well, what do you see that's so interesting? She says, well, of course she pointed out the stones and everything, but she says, I'm really interested in this, what this is, and here, and here, and here. She says, what is that? I says, well, what do you think it is? And she looks. I think it's the Loch Ness Monster. I think that's the Loch Ness Monster. And I says, well, that's exactly what it is. And from that point, this became the Loch Ness Monster coming out of the water. So this is the painting. This is called Lincoln Crossing the Delaware. The actual size of it is 24 inches by 40 inches. And like I said, these babies are up for sale. I kind of hate to get rid of them, but you know, either they stay in the closet, nobody sees them, and then we're dead, and Goodwill gets them or somebody. Well, let's get them out so the public can see them. That's all I have to say. So if you're interested, you can email me at tpetersen, that's Petersen, the number 2, at wi.rr.com. And I can quote you a price on it. And I guess that's it.